It's going to get really hot today and into the weekend. An obsession with connection is sending teens down a dark digital path. We first told you yesterday about tech addiction here on Good Morning Cincinnati. And today we've got solutions to help you help your kids. Catherine Robinson has the story you will only see on Local 12. Catherine?
On her phone 12 to 13 hours a day, 13-year-old Kaylee Bechtel admits she was addicted, but she's also proof that this cycle of addiction can be broken. It's the sound that's become synonymous with a generation. But all the alerts are alarming for parents and professionals.
We started realizing, that was an addiction. We're breaking an addiction. We're breaking a habit.
It got out of control for 13-year-old Kaylee Bechtel. The addiction to social media and the internet affected her behavior, school, and sports. Parents Tom and Tina started with the source, initially taking Kaylee's cell phone before turning to Dr. Edward Connor's psychology practice.
Before the internet, we would not let our 8-year-old child maybe walk down to the playground on the other side of the city because we wanted to protect them. We're not going to let our children go to places on the internet where it's potentially dangerous. So we do have to protect them. And if that means being intrusive, I think that's unfortunate that we use that word. I think we should say it's being protective.
As the Bechtels worked to break some bad habits, they started to create a new routine with phone checks.
On a random basis, we're going to pull your phone from you, and you're going to give us your password. You're going to open it up, and we're going to look through your photos. We're going to look through your apps. We're going to do all of that.
And like clockwork, every night, Kaylee plugs her phone in her parents' room and picks it up the next morning. Dr. Connor says parents have to be involved with their child's internet use.
I think that if you're going to have a computer in the house, have it in a visible place where it's more obvious what they're doing on the internet. I do not believe that parents should allow their children to take their cell phone into their bedroom at night until they're maybe 16 years old.
We are a big pizza family.
Change is possible. Uninterrupted family time is now normal for the Bechtels.
And we had our daughter back. We had Kaylee back.
Kaylee decided she doesn't want to get back on social media.
I definitely see a difference in myself. I feel like I'm a better person. I'm actually doing good in school, surprisingly. Volleyball, friendships, everything.
Her confidence is growing, and she sees the dangers of digital addiction.
At school, there's a problem with people during class, like getting on social media. And so we're now having to take phones away during classes because people are just so addicted to it that they have to be on it during class time. So I'm just glad that I'm not in it anymore.
It could be you or your teen, and that's why the Bechtels hope this message comes through clear.
Parents should definitely be involved with their kids and where their social media is.
I think the best way to do it is just to be very direct and very firm that I am not going to tolerate you using your phone during the middle of the night, or I am not going to allow you to go down to the basement every time you want to use your phone. And your child will react. But they also learn limits then, that there are limits in life that we have to live in order to be successful.
I have a son the same age as Kaylee, and Bob has a daughter the same age. I feel like kids are more worldly now because of all that they have. But the fact that she has that introspection and can examine herself, self-examination, what a huge thing for Kaylee.
And stories are so important in sharing stories, and I feel confident that this is going to be one that really makes a difference for families because we know the Bechtels are not the only ones going through this. Kaylee's not the only 13-year-old going through this. And just hearing her wisdom, I mean, people can glean from that, and that's really remarkable for a 13-year-old.
It's tough to be the outlier at that age. Nobody wants to be the outlier at that age. Everybody wants to be in the group, which means being in the group text and being on Instagram, being on every other thing we can possibly be on right now. It's tough to be the person who says, I'm going to step back for a little bit because I think it's best if I step back a little.
Right, and that's also the time in which young people are starting to assert their individualness in terms of separating from their parents. And so you're fighting the addiction on one hand, and you're trying to keep your kid from getting away from you at the same time. So kudos on them on being able to handle that. That's a hard thing to juggle.
And thank you to that family.